Love is a very, very powerful thing. It's very important, and you need to have it if you're going to have healthy relationships. You need it to have a healthy approach to women in general. You need to have love. But a lot of you are underestimating just how much of your feelings towards women is actually lust. And because of that, you're not aware of how much less you probably actually in love with women that you are meeting or dating or in relationships with. And this is leading to a counterfeit love. So you have like a, let's say in your heart, you have a treasury of feelings for a particular girl. And a lot of it is counterfeit gold. Gold being love, silver being lust, okay? It's very important. We can't downplay it. It's obviously very integral to relationships, okay? If it wasn't that important, you would be married to your best friend. But you're not. You're married to women because you're sexually attracted to women, okay? Like the definition of monogamy, 95% of it is we're only fucking each other. There's an emotional element, but if we're honest with ourselves, it has to do with sex, right? We could go on, but we understand lust is important, and we understand love is important. But because you have a large amount of counterfeit gold that is gold-plated but not fully gold, you're approaching relationships incorrectly and insincerely. But if you were to audit your feelings towards women and realize that a lot of that gold is actually silver, and you scraped off the gold plating and were honest, like, you know what, a lot of my attraction towards this woman, even a woman that you do love, is based in lust, two things would happen. One, you would really fucking relax. Just like realizing that, you're feeling off today. Well, have you drank water? Are you hydrated? Have you eaten, enough calories for the day and, gotten energy from healthy sources of food? Have you gotten enough sleep? Are you overwhelmed with stress? Right? Just the basics. And if you were to realize like, oh, I'm off today because I'm fucking tired and hungry and thirsty and I'm overstressed, and oh yeah, I'm also just really fucking horny. If you were to have some accounting and accountability, you realize that you can chill out a bit, right? Your feelings will become understandable. But when you have sort of deluded yourself that, let's say you have these intense feelings, let's say you just met a girl and you're like crazy about her, right? Like I just had a guy send me some text messages for me to go over his texting. And the context was he met this girl, had a really nice conversation with her, but like felt so strongly about her. And he was texting her like really emotionally, like, oh my God, you're so amazing. You're so special and this and that. And while he thinks a lot of it is, oh, it's because we talked about philosophy. Well, that doesn't necessarily make her like special. Like, okay, yeah, she's read a couple things or had a nice conversation, but are your feelings towards her, because they're really fucking intense, are they really because you're in love with her and you think she's so clever and amazing and intelligent? Or are you overplaying how much of it is love, right? This appreciation for her qualities, and really you're just horny? If you were to kind of realize that you were just being horny, you might chill the fuck out. And if you chilled the fuck out, you would probably text her better, because the way you're texting her right now is a bit fucking insane. Like you were just like basically on the verge of like proposing to this woman, even though you just met her. So if you were to be honest with yourself and go, I don't really feel this much love, it's actually like this much less and this much love, you would chill out, and that would actually make you more effective. It would make you more charismatic and interesting and cool, because you would relax. And when you relax and you're calm and you're not really fucking anxious and taking it too seriously, like it's life or death, you can have more fun. You can be more smooth, right? That would be the first thing that would happen. Okay, you just become better. So you would have better results. So if that's enough of a motivation, then you need to start doing some accounting and asking yourself, how much of my feelings towards women, or this woman in particular, is lust and how much of it is love? And really be honest with yourself. And it's very hard to do that. Like you might not be able to recognize the difference between lust and love, because the mind is so good at creating that counterfeit gold and making itself think that it's this transcendental, sublime feeling of love, when really you're just fucking horny. And the reason your mind engages in that self-deception is because on a deep level, you know that if you were honest with yourself, you would probably be a lot more relaxed. Because you don't want to sit there and, like, you would think, well, why does my mind do that? Well, because it would be really difficult to sustain that level of passion because you're trying to get sex, right? So you're trying to motivate yourself to get it. And so you're getting more frustrated, right? It's the same thing with anything, right? You're poor, or you're this, or you're that. And like, you're just going to create more and more stress about it. And hopefully that'll motivate you to go get it. But that's not always how it works, right? But that's why your mind is doing it, is because it wants to not be that way. That's why your mind is creating stress around it, right? So your mind wants to, you want to enjoy sex. So you're creating all this stress and frustration because of your lack of it, right? Your stress over something is directly proportional to your amount of craving towards it. So that's why your mind is playing this game on you. But if it counterfeits and deceives itself that it's love, well, then it's special. It's, oh yeah, like it can justify its obsession. But if it just goes, yeah, I'm just a horny fuck, it's kind of hard to justify that. And you're just like, all right, I'm just really horny. Let me rub one out, right? Or I need to approach this a lot more calmly. But if it's love, oh man, yeah, you can write poems, write books, do anything and justify it because it's love. But yeah, you would chill the fuck out and you'd have better game. The second thing that would happen is you would be more honest. And this would also help you have better game, right? But it would be on a much more deep level because you would approach women from a more honest point of view. And a lot of your perspectives on love and sex would change. You would realize just how much of your beliefs and views surrounding sex and relationships and love are influenced by the intensity of your lust. Like, I would go so far as to say that a lot of political beliefs about sex and women and promiscuity and, relationships and infidelity and this and that is just an extension of men being sexually frustrated. I made a couple versions of this video where I went really in depth with that and really kind of went on the offensive about going after particular views and things. I think a lot of it is just from sexual frustration, but I'll just leave it as like a side remark, right? Because I really went in detail, but I think it kind of digresses from the point of the video a little bit too much. Maybe I'll go into it in a different video, but I want to stay a little bit on topic with this video. But you will change your views on things. You will be far more honest about the power of lust, and you will understand that because a lot of what you feel towards women is actually lust and not love, by removing the counterfeit, you'll have the real gold there, and you will be such a more sincere and honest person. And this in and of itself, not only does it have practical value that women are going to appreciate you more, they're gonna feel your energy and your aura on a different level because you're coming at her. Like, when men come at girls with like this fucking way too much goddamn energy, right? Women know on an instinctual level, they may not be able to like point it out, but they know that it's not real. That when women say like, oh, he just, he only wants me for sex. Like, I think women are picking up on something instinctually. They know that this intensity isn't really love, but you're playing it up like it is, because you would not be this crazy if it was just lust. You're acting as if like she is the reason you breathe air. And the only thing that would justify that is like genuine love, right? And even then, that's a debate. But they know. But if you were to come at her with an aligned mind, that had this much lust and this much love, and you knew it and you acted as if that was the case, you would approach her very differently and you would have a different energy. So it has a practical element, but it also has a more sublime element of purity. You will just be a more honest person. And as a result, a lot of your views and beliefs would change. And they would have practical values in terms of like your game, but they would have long-term values in terms of your overall happiness. Because when you have incorrect views, when you're overinflating how much love you feel towards women, like the way it manifests is like, it goes a lot deeper than you would think. Some silly examples are like a man sitting at his computer waiting for 7 o'clock to see his favorite female streamer come on, and actually sitting on a stream for like 3-4 hours and like donating money to a woman he doesn't know, and like, oh, she's so funny, she's so interesting. Bro, you just want to fuck her. Men simping for girls, right? And coming to women's defense, when she doesn't really need defending, and being angry with other men and attacking other men verbally, online or in person or even physically, because you want to fuck her. But you're playing this game of self-delusion where you're convincing yourself, oh no, it's because I respect women or this and that. No, bro, like the majority of the reason you're doing, you would never, and the main way you can do this like auditing of counterfeit is, would you act the same if it was a man? Would you have the same feelings towards him? And the answer in 99% of situations is going to be no. You would not be investing the same level of energy and time and money if it was a man, right? Are you moving in with your best friend and spending the rest of your life with him? No, you're not. Why? Because he doesn't have a pussy. Am I saying you don't love your girlfriend or wife? No. No, that's not what I'm saying. But this video isn't necessarily about love. It's about lust pretending to be love. And like I said in the beginning of the video, love is very important. I fully recognize that. But I think that a lot of you are lying to yourselves and to others, and you're pretending it's love when it's lust. I'm being honest. I understand that a lot of my feelings towards a woman is lust. And when I'm honest about that, and I scrub away the gold plating and reveal the silver underneath, and I go, this is the gold. I actually do have this love towards her. Then I can grow that love because I know what's the difference. Love is the appreciation, respect, admiration for values that someone has. They're clever, they're interesting, they're funny, they're this, they're that. And then the other half of love is your well-wishing for them, right? Like in Christianity, like in the Greek word was agape. That was the word that, Jesus used for love, or it's supposed to represent God's love, this selfless giving love, right? Or in Buddhism, it's metta. It means loving kindness. Like, it's just like, I want the best for you. It has nothing to do with me, right? That's the other half of love, right? But you take those two things that you do feel for someone that you are in love with, and you combine it with lust. That's romance. And then you add trust into that as well, right? So love has two halves, right? The well-wishing, the loving for them, and then the loving of them. Qualities that they have. And then you add in the fact that you want to stick your dick inside of their holes. And then you add in the fact that you trust them. And then we have, the elements that create what we call being in love with someone. They're just different types of attraction, right? But when you become honest and have purified your respective feelings towards them as they actually are, everything's going to change. Everything. And women will appreciate it. I think on a certain level, there's also a reason why this delusion, kind of why the mind does this counterfeiting. I think it's also a self-protection mechanism based in shame. I think that we're afraid that if we're honest about our feelings, women are going to hate us, basically, right? They're going to call us pigs. But actually, the men who are pigs are the men who, besides the obvious, the men who only sue women sexually. Like, they don't acknowledge women as human beings at all. Obviously, those guys are pigs too, but the men who are pigs really are the ones who pretend. They are pigs wearing suits, right? A lot of what they feel is lust, but they don't admit it. But the man who acknowledges he has these carnal primal feelings, and so does she. Okay, so let's not get this twisted. Like, women have the same exact problem we do, right? They'll act like, oh, it's love and this and that, and they'll read these books, right? And it's like, oh yeah, he's just this fairy king and he's super rich and good looking and this and that, and oh my god, he's so amazing and kind and I love him. No, honey, you just want to suck his dick and drink his cum, and you want him to bend you over and fuck you like a whore. Stop fucking pretending it's this sublime transcendental feeling. No, you're just a horny bitch. All right, just like we're horny fucking assholes. Let's get some honesty in here, okay? So this isn't just geared towards men and, oh, women are these angels and we need to approach them with purity. And no, fuck you. Like, they need to do the same thing to us, okay? But we can't control women. We can only control ourselves. So that's why this video is geared towards men. So I'll make a video for women on my women channel, right? And I'll give them the realness on their half of accountability. Women are not going to be upset with honesty. Women appreciate honesty so a million times more than you can even imagine. That's why a lot of my casual relationships were so successful, because and women would tell me explicitly they appreciated my honesty. Because unlike the majority of men, I came at them going, hey, I want to fuck you. I got to know them and I treated them like human beings and I was interesting and this and that, but I didn't come at them with twisted intentions. I never gave, or rarely, I can't say I never did because I've definitely made mistakes. But for the most part, I was very sincere about my intentions, and women appreciated it. And they would tell me that, contrasted against, men who would pretend to want a relationship, but really they just wanted sex, they liked the fact that I was honest. So whether you're looking for something casual or serious, it is imperative that you do some auditing and you discover just how deep the rabbit hole goes, just how much of your feelings towards women is actually lust. You would be dumbfounded. Like, you have no idea just how horny of a fuck you are. And you come up with the most clever ways of disguising it as love. So, get to auditing. Do some explorations of your feelings. And one of the best ways is the example I gave earlier. Would you be acting the same if it was a guy? That's one of the best thought experiments you can do to check yourself, to see if you really, this is what you're feeling, right? And also just observe other men. Observe how they act when they're around a woman they find attractive. Watch the way they change. Watch how entire personalities can shift. People can betray each other. People can, act strange around each other. People can go to such great lengths with time and money and energy and thought and stress just because they want to get their dick wet. And when that isn't satisfied, look at how much anger and frustration and stress is caused. So I'm referring to earlier when I gave a big hint that I think a lot of political beliefs out there about sex and marriage and this and that is really just sexual frustration and sexual fear masquerading as morality. So give it some thought, do some soul searching, and I think you will find that you are highly self-deceptive of how much you actually are in love with this woman or that woman, and that the majority of your strong feelings towards her is actually lust. And once you realize that, you're gonna have better game, and you're gonna stop being self-deceptive and outwardly deceptive, and it's just gonna have great effects on everything, internally and externally. So I've probably over-explained myself. I have a lot of examples that I want to give, but I think that they would just kind of detract from the message I'm trying to give. So good luck. You're gonna have a lot of fun digging into your heart. A lot of gobbledygook in there, and it's called lust. And it's something you're going to be stuck with for a very long time. So you might as well become very intimately familiar with its nature. And then maybe, just maybe, it won't have so much control over you. Because the people who are slaves of lust, there's two big slaves of lust. The hedonist, who just like gives into it and and lets it lead him everywhere. And then the other end is the super sexually frustrated, incel, MGTOW guy, red pill guy who's just always complaining or angry with women, right? And doesn't have success with women, right? He's also a slave to lust, but is not able to satisfy it. This guy's a slave to lust and is unable to stop satisfying it. So don't be either one of these guys. Don't go to those extremes. And I think your life is just going to be much better on many levels. So best of luck. Love you. Talk to you soon. Ciao.